bad jokes, man. I'm just living up to the reputation.
This is going podcast. To be when people have you ever gone to a guest house and then you go and they feed you and you go like with your whole family, right? And they feed you and then you have to pass by like chicken in on your way home because the entree.
Don't say that. No. The 30% podcast is your main meal. Like, you will not have to listen to any other podcast ever again.
Every gal to a man, back it up and swerve. Every gal to a man, back it up and swerve. Every gal to a man, back it up and swerve. Every gal to a man, back it up and swerve. Nyongwa, akicheki vile na rombosa ati nyongwa. Baby girl anjaluo proper wanadeni kitu once wanaifanya tena Flonia Skaso lazima watanyita tena.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 105 of the 30% podcast, a 3-course meal with music industry knowledge as the first meal, poor jokes that fall flat on their face as the second meal. Sam, can you guess what's for dessert?
I actually can't. I don't know where this is going. Let me try. Let me try and participate. So we have what's the entree? The entree is the poor jokes. How can that be the entree?
Yes.
How can that be the
entree is a poor? No, it's poor jokes. It's poor joke. Okay, listen. And the third course, the dessert, is a Kenyan song. That's always what we top off the podcast with. But anyway, guys, I go by Afamefuna. My co-host goes by Sam Are, and together we form a producer duo that's more formidable than Timbaland and Pharrell. Man. Sam, what's up?
Yo, does anyone ever call you Famsi? Have you ever been called Famsi before?
Please, don't even introduce the concept of that, please.
Sam. No. Has anyone ever called you Famsi? I was asked to ask by a fan. A fan asked me to ask you that question. A fan of yours.
Oh my. Okay, so fan of ours, like Famsi is just like it's a no. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
we're not going by Famsi.
Sounds like an ex. Sounds like an ex is involved in this. All right, let's just move along swiftly. I don't know. Guys usually when they don't want to be called nicknames, it's either their mom or their ex.
No, nobody has ever in my entire life called me Famsi.
So then why you hate anyway? What's up?
Because it's Sam. It's like if I started saying, oh, okay, like let's start calling Sam Samuelita. I don't know, Sammy. Yeah, we'll start calling you Sammy from now on.
Samuelita.
You okay with me calling you Sammy?
Samuelita is very Lolita at the end of it is kind of. You call me whatever you want as long as it's respectful and advances value.
Yeah, Jedediah. Jed.
All right, man. Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
I've been asking you. No, you don't ask me. I've been asking you how you've been, and you went down this whole thing.
Episode 105 is going off the
and
rails.
You didn't even answer me.
Oh my bad.
You didn't even answer me. You've just like
all right,
gone.
Let's recenter everything. What's good? I'm doing well, man. All right, a little bit sleep deprived. I played with puppies this is how boring my life is. I played with puppies this week and it greatly
that's exciting.
Greatly energized me. And made a couple of bangers. Yeah, that's it. Still adjusting.
Some
to
might say he made another banger.
Yeah, that Rema snippet too. We need that song out. I thought it was going to be out. He should have surprise dropped that. Anyway, I'm doing well. Yeah,
nice.
How are you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing fine. Doing fine. Yeah, man. Just living. Yeah, I was happy with the Mrumbi podcast. So
we did
glad that went.
I keep forgetting to talk about our interviews, but it's fine. We had them. Go listen to that. Mrumbi dropped some gems on there.
Go listen to that. Did you get up to anything interesting?
Nope.
aside from playing with puppies? Oh, okay.
No, I made my first beat in a minute. And
okay,
it's always the beats that it's like super boom bap. It's always the beats that you make in like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes that I keep going back to. Like it's such a banger. I want to see if I can get like a rapper on it. But anyway, it's just that I haven't done much, man. My life is, I need to do new things. I need to go skydiving. Bungee jumping. You
should actually go skydiving. For me, like there's nothing of note. There's nothing I haven't I did that is like worth mentioning. The only thing I did was watch the absolute train wreck of the match between the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Between
that
Sam.
grandpa.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen. I actually felt really bad watching it because it's just like he looked what you would expect from a 58-year-old man, and you could tell Jake Paul wasn't trying. You could tell in their contracts they probably said like nobody's getting knocked out or whatever. Like
which is nasty to me because then that's like cooking sports and I don't like that.
It was so bad, Sam. It was one of the worst things ever. Please, may they never do anything like that ever again.
Well,
but yeah, that's really
there's a big bag though. There's a big bag attached to it. So
of course,
and the person fighting
me
Mike
saying that is not gonna prevent them from doing this. They will do this as much. They will milk this as much as possible.
The person fighting Mike Tyson came from content creation, so that's probably always going to be in the back of his mind. It's creating content.
Sam, do you know how fried I am? I know I was present for the origin of YouTube boxing.
Jake Paul.
It doesn't go to Jake Paul, man. It's the reason why YouTube boxing is big is because of two individuals, Joella and Theo Baker. If you're listening to this podcast and you're as fried in terms of just like being on the internet as I am, you know those two individuals. And then what happened is they had an exhibition fight, and then KSI was in the comments and he was like, "Yo, I'd like to fight the winner." And then he fought Joella, and then he beat Joella, and then that's when he said, "I'm willing to fight any of the Pauls," and that's how he started fighting Logan Paul, and that's how this whole thing became a thing. That is the lore. What I have told you guys is the real history.
Celebrity
about
boxing
YouTube
lore.
Boxing. Yes.
Celebrity boxing lore. That's hilarious.
What does that say about me that I know it to a T? It's not good.
Mike Tyson's legacy, man. I don't know if this affects it as much because Jake Paul is not as serious. Like people don't consider him like a boxer, but still, I would have liked Mike just to go
His
rest.
His legacy
bro.
is not affected from this.
Yeah, just go
it's
rest.
Not affected
though.
from this. Actually,
go rest, big dog.
What we've been talking about for the past 2 minutes didn't happen. It doesn't exist. It does not. It was actually a fever dream. Sam, do you remember talking about anything? I don't.
All right. Let's since that didn't happen, let's talk about let's get into Radio 254, man. Radio 254.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's awards in general, yeah.
It's award season.
If you follow me on Instagram, you know how passionate about this topic I am. But yeah, let's start with Radio 254. So they have a virtual awards and they've been pushing this. I saw them posting, how would you guys feel about whether if we did a virtual awards, would you guys be open to that? And I would assume people said they would be. So they just released a list. And it's very few categories, which is nice because it's very focused, actually. So, Sam, do you want to go through the categories to see?
Let's run through all the categories. And as we're doing this, you guys be voting in your heads, or you could just go to their website and also vote. Best group category. We have Wakadinali, the Cardinals. We have Matata. We have Watenda Willy, and we have Vijana Baru. For the best group of, I guess, this awards are 2024 online awards, so it's this past year's work. So only judging based off that. So yeah, so it's those four. Should I continue, or do you want to?
Who are you voting for?
Who am I voting for here? I will go. You know what? I will go Watenda Willy, and I'm going Watenda Willy because of what they've done individually and they just recently dropped a project that has gotten like a whole bunch of positive reception. So
Reviews
I would pick them, but I'm not actually picking them as a group. I'm picking them because of what EY and his brother, his brother in crime, have done separately. So yeah, who would you pick?
Wow. I think I would just go with Watanda Willie. There's just so much hype between both of them.
They're on a little wave.
Israel and Uriah Tajiri.
Yeah, they're on a little wave.
They have so much hype with them, and I mean Wakadinali and Wakadinali are legends, so they'll be okay. Best male: Bien, Otile, Nyashinsky, and Calligraph. I think it can only go to one person.
Yeah, Otile. Otile is winning that hands down.
Bro, he's the people's champ.
Best female. I mean, I guess Bien should win that. Bien has from coming up from his album. And
some people would genuinely say Otile. So,
yeah, well, it depends on radio. It also depends on radio 254's what do you call it? Their demographic.
Yeah, that's true.
Best female, we've got Mandy, we've got Nadia Mukami, we've got Diana Cords, and Sophia Nzau. You think Sophia Nzau has done enough this year to be, because Mwaki was last year?
Yeah, I think the hype with Mwaki has died down.
Yeah.
So I think just because of recency bias, I don't think people are gonna vote for her because maybe she's a bit far in their memories, if you dig what I'm saying. I think because of recency bias, people are just going to vote Diana Cords because she's the person who has the most recent hit.
Yeah, and Set It has really done much for her. Although a lot of people will probably put Nadia Mukami in there because she has some, she maintains like a low-key presence, like a static, she's always around and always releasing music. So some people might vote for her. I don't know. I would go, you know what? I'll just go against the grain and vote Sophia Nzau again, just because.
Okay. Respected.
Yeah. Let's go. I'll do album, then you go to the next categories. Let's go album of the year. Album of the year. So we have Nadia Mukami, speaking of. Queen of the East. Actually, listen to that. We have Charisma with Motions. I heard that too. We had Njerai with Unintentional. Was that an album or was that an extended EP? Then we have Bensol, Party After Party. Ooh, this is not tough.
So Sam, I'm just gonna say you're best placed to to answer this. If you guys know, I'm so bad with listening to albums. So I will listen to songs here. Yes, I know it's horrible.
Yeah.
But like Rumbi in the last podcast also said he's bad at listening to albums. So I'm not alone. Like
just the two of you.
You're out there listening, like some of us have, it's just hard to
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Sam, go ahead.
Yeah. Who would I go here? I would pick. I'd go with Bensol. I think I enjoyed his. Oh, I'm not saying I enjoyed his album. I actually haven't gone back to his album. I need to go back to it, but then I would just go off that based off. Yeah. Song of the year. Yeah.
Angu Kanayo, Set It, Kudade, and Jibagna Jug. I think there's only one answer here. The song of the year has to be Angu Kanayo because of just the I know the dance.
That's what we think it is. Yeah, and
reaching it was,
and what it now represents, sort of, you know. And not just the dance, but then the song sort of took the face of the revolution, took the face of the protest and what we're doing. So that kind of carries it a lot more. Set It is a big runner-up though, because boy, that song is being played everywhere. But
not even Jibagna Jag. Jibagna Jag did numbers, bro.
Yeah.
He did numbers. Video of the year, Chris Kaiga, Saru. Chris Kaiga with Kamishika Signal, Saru with Maintain, Jabidi with Miel Martin. I don't think I've watched that one. And TG Black with Can't Stand It.
Yeah.
Sam, what are you saying? I don't know which one I'm saying. I don't know which one I'm saying.
I would, to be honest with you, I can only go with the one that I've fully watched, which would be Chris Kaiga's. But that's not a very informed decision. So Chris Kaiga takes it. He takes it for me.
I think I've watched both. I've watched 3 out of the 4. I'm not gonna lie. The Kamishika Signal video, I think, could have been better. That's a hot take. Honestly, I feel like this list could have been. I think there were songs
This is
which
not.
had
Yeah,
better
this is
videos
not. This is
year.
not a very good.
I'm
this is
not gonna cap.
The nominees on this
but
could
anyway,
have been better, for sure.
I'm going. Listen, pure bias. I'm going with TG Black. but I genuinely think there were like videos this year that like had like just had me in a chokehold. So I don't know about this. I don't know about this for as like nominees.
Yeah,
what's the next one?
And that's, I mean, and I guess we might get into it later on. But then that's the thing. Like maybe if there was a broader
nomination process.
Yes. Maybe we'll have more. But anyway, it's fine. It's ready to 254. This is what they chose to do, so that's what they're doing.
This is their list. So like it's their list. So we go by what they're saying.
Yeah, this is a list. So producer of the year, we've got Vic West. We've got Metro Sukadoba. I pronounced that terribly. Metro.
I don't know about Metro.
Yeah,
So,
there's a.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, we have then Cap, and then we've got Sedo. I would take out Mr. Metro. No offense, big dog. I'm sure you've done a lot. And I would put in Hendrix.
No. I wouldn't do that so easily because we probably made some bangers and then somebody is out there listening, they're offended.
Oh,
like,
well,
so.
People are going to get offended. Just hear me out first. I would take him out and I'll put Hendrix Sam in there because I think Hendrix Sam has really pushed a lot this year.
Hendrix Sam is fire.
Yeah, he's done a whole bunch. And then I would give it to Hendrix Sam.
No, but listen, this is no. This is 254 Radio's list, and so you have to give me an answer based on what you have in front of you.
It's 254 in front of me.
No. Give me an answer. Right now, you're nah. I don't like it. Give me an answer.
That's my answer, though, man. I don't have to conform to society standards or Radio 254 standards. Let's see. Vic West. It's going to have to be between Vic West and. I'll pick Vic West. No. Yes. I'll pick Vic West with an honorable mention to Cap, but I could also pick Cap with an honorable mention to Vic West. And whichever two I'm picking, if I pick Vic West and an honorable mention to Cap, Hendrix Sam wins. So, and the other way around.
So I go Cap, and this is my reason because I think he's very, very diverse, and he's proved it. He produced that song with Savina. Totally different sound. He produced the song for Lil Minor and AJ. And that was also... Was it AJ? No. Lil Minor, Dansky. And that was also a completely different sound. And then obviously, he does like the chap stuff. So he's like been all over the place and is kind of proving that he has like some diversity. So I go with Cap. Collabo of the year, Diana Chords feature. Okay, let's try speed this up. So collabo of the year, Diana Chords featuring AJ Setic, Ben Soul featuring BN, Extra Pressure, Johnny featuring Furthermore, Harry Craze, Ndovuku and Lil Minor, Kudade, and then Wakadinali featuring Susan Owio. I would just say from this list, Set It is like the one that kind of like did the most numbers. It had the most like impact.
Extra Pressure had a bunch of impact too. Extra Pressure had a whole bunch of impact too. And
so Extra Pressure for you.
You see, you wouldn't know because you don't really listen to that kind of music, but that song gets played a lot and it's referred to everywhere and it's on all over TikTok. Yeah, it could be between those two. It could be.
But I've listened to it though.
Set It is more recent.
It doesn't make me feel.
It doesn't like make you feel. Win. Well, it doesn't make the people feel like. But no, I get it.
What does Set It make the people feel like? Huh? Yeah? Yeah, speak now.
Okay, well, let me speak for me. Extra Pressure for me. Take it. Set It is cool, but Set It is number 2.
Extra Pressure is cool, but Set It for me.
There you go. All right, man. Best features of 2024. Ndovuku, AJ, Furthermore, and Boutros.
It can only be one person.
No, it can't. No. Okay, yeah. I thought you were going to say someone else and we were going to fight.
No. It has to be Furthermore. Furthermore.
Yeah.
No. Furthermore is all. His feature run is immense. He always kills it as a feature. So
that's a fact.
We don't even have to talk about that much.
That's a fact.
Video director of the year.
I'm not too knowledgeable on this, honestly. So I don't know.
Same. I'm also not knowledgeable on video directors. For me, I would say Harry. I love Harry. I think Harry has like, it's not on this list, but
Wait, no. You
list,
see, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing.
No, you did it. You set the standard. So I'm just, you know what, Sam? I'm following your lead.
Just because I broke the rules doesn't mean you have to.
No, but I'm following your lead. Anyway, I don't know. I to be honest, I'm not knowledgeable enough.
All right, let's just give it to Steve Mugo.
Shout out to Steve Mugo. Woo.
Yeah, podcast of the year. We've got Ikonini, we've got Mike Check, the 97th podcast, and Becoming CEO. Mike Check, I think, would win this category.
No. Following your lead again. They're missing one crucial podcast, Sam. One crucial podcast is missing from this list. I don't know about you.
We're not doing that.
I don't know about you, but I feel like this podcast is kind of crucial to the culture, but it's not on this list. And the podcast I am talking about is the Talk Tour podcast.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like that takes, you know that, fam, we need to have a discussion about fame in this world, because there's no way that podcast
it's unfair.
Is number 2 in terms of how.
That's proof that life is unfair.
Have you actually listened to the podcast?
Honestly,
have you listened to it? Have you sat down for 5 minutes? I have.
Why would I? Why would I sit down to listen to that?
I did. I sat down and she was introducing Haley. Her name is Haley, right? She was introducing her boyfriend. I have never seen such a, like, oh my goodness. It was, I don't know why. You know when they say not everyone should have a microphone, and of course that's weird for us to say because everyone has. It's hard to criticize the thing you're doing, obviously, but man,
Sam,
my goodness,
life is unfair, and I don't want to get like racial with it, but like I feel like her rise in the media, a lot of it is to do with. Let's not get political here, but I just think
I would blame
bro. You could work so hard. Produce the best content, be compelling, be knowledgeable, be hardworking, make all the right moves, meet all the right people, but somebody else will still get the number 2 spot in the podcast. Listen to this in a year because they said haktu in a TikTok.
Can you believe the nonsense?
The most telling thing about this whole situation, and then we'll move on from this because this is such a sideline topic. The most interesting thing is, you see, the person who was whose video that was, the person who was interviewing her.
Yeah.
For that hack tour moment. Nobody knows who he is. It's a black dude.
Nothing.
It's a black dude. Nobody knows who he is. He hasn't blown up at all. He in fact, I read somewhere that they were trying to Haley's team were trying to copyright that whole video sound, whatever. And I'm just like, This is how the world works, Sam. This is genuinely how the world works, and it's just something to just note. You
work hard, and then someone just comes and finesses. Shout out to him, man. I hope he blows up. I don't hope anything, man.
He's not.
Shout out to him. Back to Radio 254. Let's back to Area 254.
Mic check. I'm saying mic check. Yeah, I'm saying mic check.
Cool. Let's go event of the year, and then let's speed through them. Blankets and Wine. We've got Nakili Sessions. We've got Folk Fusion. We've got Gondwana. What are you taking?
As a person who barely goes for events, from what I've seen on just social media and everything, I feel like Gondwana. Everyone says Gondwana is always so nicely organized and blah 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 and all that type of stuff. So it gets such a good rep from my perspective as somebody who doesn't go out much. So I'm just gonna, if I was voting, I'd just vote Gondwana. But
Makes
Blankets
sense.
and Wine is what?
Yeah, Blankets.
Heavy.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
Blankets and Wine is almost a different show because it plays variety, different variety. Gondwana seems to be just more Un's music. I haven't been there, so I don't know, but it seems more. Anyway, I would pick Blankets and Wine because it's for the culture. Let's go record label of the year. We have Black Market Records. We have a Boss Records, Soul Generation, and Zosa Nation. Soul Generation can sneak in there. You guys have not been operating like a music label.
I'm going black market.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I'm a huge fan of Tesla. Tesla is so fire. I don't even know why I haven't reached out to her to work here. Yo, Tesla, if you're listening to this, I am a producer.
Okay.
And I...
All right, wrap up the year. Wrap up the year.
I'm joking. Sam, that's a joke. What did I say in the intro? I said the Entrée is bad jokes, man. I'm just living up to the reputation.
This is going podcast. To be, you know, when people, have you ever gone to a guest house and then you go and they feed you and you go like with your whole family, right? And they feed you and then you have to pass by like chicken in on your way home because the Entrée.
Don't say that. No. The 30% podcast is your main meal. Like you will not have to listen to any other podcast ever again. Rapper of the year. Loki the Great Scam, Cardinali, Chiomio, or Breeder.
I would go. Dang, I don't like this list at all.
I don't know how they came up.
I don't like this list. I don't know how they
came up with these names, man. I'm sorry.
I'm not voting. I'm protesting the Rapper of the Year category. I don't like this list at all. Not even close.
I'm saying Boy Black. Boy Black has been on a run this year, but like that's so niche.
That's the problem.
Who'd you say rapper?
That's very niche. Let's see. Who else is?
How do you say Rapper of the Year?
Has Nyashinsky dropped enough to
That's not no.
He hasn't dropped enough. But he just dropped an EP.
I've said no. Yeah, which I have said no.
Wow. Okay. I'm just throwing names in there. Look at can't even give the guy. We have
okay, and note that is Afam's opinion. That is, I will hold it. It's just me. This is not the views of the podcast. It's just Afam.
I'm trying to make Calligraph in there also. Rapper Calligraph should be in there. Shouldn't he? Wasn't he nominated for Rap Song of the Year?
Sam, why are you doing this to me? Like, do you just want me to be in controversy? Because if it's Calligraph, no. No.
All right, you know what?
Are you setting me up?
There's entirely too much reading between the lines here. So we'll just let this go. Let's pick Triomio and keep it pushing.
I said Triomio. Abanton Artist of the Year. Goditana Tipsy G, Sean MMG, Ran Scooby. Me, I'm saying Ran Scooby because I just fuck with Ran Scooby and
actually can't vote. I don't know.
Ran Scooby.
I haven't listened to enough Abanton music I've listened to Abanton music, just not enough to pinpoint.
Just not enough.
But anyways.
And that is oh my God. We have spent almost half an hour talking about this. Shout out to Radio 254. I mean, doing a virtual award show is nice, I guess. Organizing a physical event is very difficult. And bro, did we experience? Remember when we went for Uncut?
Yeah, that's horrible show. Shout out to them though, but still horrible show.
No, listen. Let's not say horrible. It's just it was a little bit of a challenge.
So you've picked a
better adjective,
a softer word to say exactly what I'm saying. Afam, you can't be doing this.
It was challenging.
You need to make me seem like I'm the
one.
It
was challenging.
Challenging. What does that mean? Okay, yeah, sure. It was challenging. Not so great.
Exactly. You have to leave a gray area, man.
Anyway.
But so I think there has to be a wider conversation held about award shows in general.
Of course, we've talked about it a bit.
Like I was saying,
I'm saying we talked about it a little bit.
We have in the past, and this is something that like just kind of like triggered me like over the week. Over the week. I got a nomination email from People's Choice Awards, and that organization, and yes, we were nominated for something with People's Choice Awards in the past, but this was before either someone or myself knew exactly how,
and it was pretty new too. So
exactly how the business model is. Yeah, it was the second time they had done it, and so I didn't know the game. I didn't know what this thing is. This shit is just like a pyramid scheme. Actually, it essentially is a pyramid scheme, because bro, they will send out all these invites to everybody imaginable. Because who's gonna say no to being nominated for a thing? But here's the catch. The catch is that everybody who's nominated is obviously going to want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do is
pay to
tell
vote.
you, oh yeah, you pay to vote, and everybody, and they make money. So this is a money making thing. Because like if you send an email to 100 producers, right?
Yeah.
And 75 of them say, yes, like I'll be part of this. And 75 of them are able to round up 100 people to vote for them. And you're paying to vote. That's money. And they get 50%. And by they, I mean People's Choice. And the nominee gets 50% of this. So this is really, honestly and truly, just a way to make money.
Stop giving
and for
them
me,
attention.
It rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rubs me the wrong way because I feel like our industry deserves better, Sam. Like, honestly, I think we need award shows that I actually respect Uncut way more than I respect People's Choice.
That's
Because
saying a
Uncut
lot.
were trying. And that's saying a lot because look, Uncut were trying to put something together. They were trying, and maybe it fell through. Maybe they weren't able to like secure enough sponsors and have enough people interested in it. But at least they were trying to do something in a more legitimate way. These People's Choice Awards guys have zero credibility in my opinion.
I have a question. So do you think let's say we had a creative board that represents the music scene in the government, like actually represents us. Do you think that award shows should be regulated? Do you think they should, like People's Choice would have to go and submit to them and say this is our format and this is the award show we're doing? And then let's hypothetical. Let's say the board or the representatives of the music scene was actually doing their work and it was it was legit.
But regulated in what sense?
Regulate like for example now if People's Choice come and say, okay, this is our format, and for the contestants to win, they have to vote, and then hey, by the way, we also take 50%, and so the award shows could be like, okay, maybe this does not advance what the goal of we feel the industry should be, kind of deal. Like just yes or no or no it sort of. I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know because I don't know so much about like how the government would be involved. That's a hard question. I'm just gonna say that's a hard question.
Hypothetical. We're going with the hypothetical. Just filling all
in
the blanks.
Way that if in the way that it is now, the way that People's Choice are operating, then yes, it should be regulated. But it still wouldn't be legit. It'll just mean that the government is also benefiting, which is actually annoying.
No, but I'm saying
it's even more annoying.
In this scenario, I'm talking about the government like actually doing their job and doing the right thing.
Okay.
Anyway, it's fine. It's cool.
What do you think? No. What do you think? Because I'm maybe I'm the wrong person to answer.
I do think there should be some sort of like parameters set in place for award shows, so that not. I mean, like People's Choice is coming up a little. It's looking a little bit scammy, right? So it's if there are like parameters and just how things, different ways things are supposed to go, which we can all, which is tested and proven, and it's something that actually works and something that the people are aware of and they want and they need and it benefits the entire industry. Then I think there should be, I think beat the award shows into shape a little bit, and get that going well. And it also helps weed out some of this. But I don't know if
our government is the shining light that's gonna beat anything.
I was speaking in a hypothetical, not the way we're going now. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
They'll probably,
I get it.
They'll probably do worse than People's Choice and all. They'll take the other half.
But Sam,
they'll take the other half.
I ChatGPT came to the rescue again, man. And I was just like, bro, how do we establish like a fully credible, fair and effective music industry award show? Now, I won't bore you guys with everything that ChatGPT said, but it had, so I'll read the 3 points it gave was 1, define your mission and vision, 2, build a transparent voting and judging process, and 3, identify award categories. And then there were like 8 other reasons. But then I asked it to kind of like expound on point number 2, which is building a transparent voting and judging process, which goes into like having a defined selection criteria, having a defined judging panel, and then involving the public. So when it expounded on that point, it essentially said, one, you should develop a clear selection criteria, which is something that we've actually also gone through with reviewing Radio 254's criteria. And this is no shade to them, but like we don't know what criteria they used to select some of the names in those categories. So we need more transparent reasons as to why certain names and certain artists are in specific categories, right? And I feel like how the Grammys do this is just by having a rigorous nomination process with the Recording Academy and having like producers, engineers, music executives, anybody who is like legitimately part of the music industry be part of that process. Yeah. Right? And that's what we need. That's really what we need. And then secondly, recruit a diverse and qualified judging panel, which is what I've just said. We need people in music, like whether they're making music or whether they're executives in the music industry, we need them part of the judging panel. And also we need the public, because the public's opinion also matters, but not when people are soliciting for votes and like, and also I don't like the whole vote as many times thing, because that just becomes like a money thing. At the end of the day,
and you're just spamming votes. It should be. I think when I think about award shows, I feel like there should be a set representative. Is that what I'm trying to say? A set. Like there should be people who represent
the public.
Yes.
Or you could say that, like, I get what you mean. So you could say like like 30% of the votes, there's that number, 30%. 30% of the votes will be accounted for by the public, right? Mm-hmm. And 70% of the vote will be accounted for by the board behind, like, or the, like, the, you know, the music industry professionals, blah, 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 that have been selected to be part of the voting process.
Yeah. Of course.
Right? And then you just do it that way.
Yeah. Of course, the downside to that is it turns it political. So that will be the downside. But
listen, Sam,
it's better to go that route, I guess.
There's no way to 100% have a corruption-free award process, because you know how people are. There's going to be politics. There's going to be people pulling the strings. But this is the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
That has the least, like, corruption.
And it's not...
Or essentially... what's the word? Avenues for people to kind of game the system.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's not just corruption that I'm talking about, because we've talked about just relationships and how they play into how successful an artist can be.
It's still corrupt. It's still corruption, no?
Well, it could be. It could be corruption, but then and on the other hand, it could be more of a just more people like a specific artist, and so they'll nominate him, not necessarily because it kicks merit out, I guess. So, and that merit could be kicked out by just outright, listen, do what we want you to do, and then we'll put you on. Or it could be like we all gravitate towards this one person and we just like him or like her and like their music, and so we're going to put them on. But yeah, it's bad. If we can find a way to have it on merit, that would be great. But that's almost never possible when you have organizations like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think our country, I think we can genuinely figure it out. Right?
Well,
just
have a long way to go.
Get the right, but just get the right people involved. Like just look for all the music industry, like people who are in radio, people who are in journalism, producers, artists, like, and try and get like a very mixed bunch. We're talking about people who are in the gospel industry, people who are in, the more folk industries, people in drill, people who have worked in coast. Yeah. Like, just try and get like a very diverse bag of individuals, right? And then producers, artists themselves, maybe, engineers, executives, just managers, radio hosts, radio producers. Just get people who listen and who go through a lot of music like within the year, right?
Yeah.
That's just step one. It's easy, right? And then ChatGPT also suggests rotating memberships by refreshing the panel
I was just about to suggest that, because the quickest way to have corruption bloom in a spot is just to keep the same people there over and over again. So like
people, yes.
Refresh it once in a while and take people out and put people back in, and that's how you probably keep it more even and fair, I think.
Yeah. And then having public voting be integrated. I would say people can only vote once, and then I wouldn't involve a money aspect to it, because then that just becomes...
Yeah, let it be on merit. It turns it weird.
Just let it be who do you like. You know what I mean? And then the other reasons is using technology to ensure integrity, eliminating conflicts of interests, anonymous nominations where possible, hide the nominators' identities to prevent favoritism. Oh, that's interesting. How would you do that? You only listen to the... But that's hard. How would you do anonymous nominations, Sam?
Well, that has to be done through technology, I guess. You have to like create like some sort of an app or something that you give to the people voting, or like a link, something of the sort. Because if it's a physical thing, you can always be traced. There's no like incognito real life. You can't go incognito in real life. There's no human.
And the last point,
reality VPN. Anyway.
And the last point they had is communicate regularly and openly. So having pre-award transparency, which shares how nominees were chosen and judged, as well as the voting timeline and process, and then post-award reporting, release a detailed breakdown of the results and the rationale behind decisions. Which for the rationale behind decisions in the People's Choice Awards is who paid the most money. Let's see. Whoever paid the most money wins. That triggers me a lot. I think we deserve better award shows, because I feel like it genuinely legitimizes the industry way more. Like the creative industry as a whole improves. I think the current model that People's Choice has is that it just perpetuates the possibilities of people who make not so good music winning awards. And what happens to the people who make great music, right? We want an award system where the people who make great music win, and that inspires people who are coming up to even make better music. Like the industry as a whole will grow when everything is credible and the people who deserve to win are winning. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's true.
I could go on and on about this. I don't want to bore you guys.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just need to do it. Hopefully, maybe it's in the works and we don't know. But I do trust a couple of people in the industry to put that together and see how that goes. We had a few back then. Like last time we talked about this, we mentioned that, but we had a few back then, and then they kind of died out and have lost importance. So we don't really have one that's holding the industry down, and we desperately need that, I would say. So yeah, man. If you guys have any suggestions, spam your nearest industry. What do you call them?
Professional.
Yep, industry professional. And it could be you who starts something. Name it after you.
Speaking of industry professionals, so David Murray, a lot of people know him as a DJ, but he's just like it's a goated individual. He posted on Twitter, he said, "I urge those participating in the Kenyan music industry to create safer spaces for women to work in, be it studios, events, videos, content. It is a worthy investment." I believe the first time I saw this tweet was on Wangeshi. This is Kinoti's manager's stories. And I genuinely think it's something that needs to be brought up like in the general conversation, Sam. And the reason being is I'll give from my perspective, how I've encountered this is like in studios or just like with producers, especially engineers as well. Like there's a lot of, working on music with an artist and you all work for time, you record a whole EP and everything, and then now when it's time for the music to come out or the artist to get their masters, it's always a story of, yo, but I'm trying to smash or like whatever. And then now not releasing the masters to the artist. And
now I'm going to start getting heated.
And that shit is so uncomfortable. And just imagine like the emotional and mental like turmoil, because bro, somebody is really putting their heart and soul into this music, probably looking at it as a potential source of livelihood, and then having to lose their dignity, or their like, you know what I mean, just to like get this music and taking that away from somebody. And it's sad when especially you see musicians coming into the industry so green and so happy, and it's like, I just want to make music, and then things like this happening, and mostly happens to female artists, and then you just see the light in their eyes kind of go away. It's kind of sad. I don't know.
And then so a few things could happen there. Number one, two major things actually happen in that situation. There's supposed to be a third major thing, but the two major things, number one, either the artist just gets very disoriented and they just lose the light, they lose the passion, and they end up just dropping off or not achieving their potential, or they play into the system and they go down that route. Either way,
and lose themselves in the process.
And lose themselves, right? The third one should be, and this is the one I always like, I really wish these people could be. I wish we have a culture of, and I feel very strongly about this. Like, this is one of the things that I get really mad, because art is really, really important. And when people start holding art hostage for their own personal gain, that pisses me off. Now it's because now you don't know what you're doing. And now, of course, now it affects a whole, like, can people just get into the studio and make music and like it just and it be people it's people who you don't even be expecting too. It's like, oh man,
that's
you too, man. It's really I like I was saying, I think I really wish that we can create a culture of speaking out. Right, create a culture of speaking out on this kind of things. Of course, create a culture of speaking out on all the negative things that happen and literally holding people accountable. We talk about that a lot. But then since we're talking about this specific issue, I want to stay here. When this happens, like I wish it's very easy when you go through this kind of thing as an artist, and of course I'm not a female artist and I've not necessarily gone through this myself, but then from what I've heard from other people, it's very easy to just, you don't want to shout it out, you don't want to muddy the waters. There's the whole aspect of, are people going to believe what I'm talking about, and then you can also be, if it's someone in power, someone who has power, they can easily overshadow you,
or even rationalize it by saying, "Oh, I know a lot of women before me have gone through this, so even me, then who am I to kind of like speak out and say shit like that?"
Punch someone in the face.
Bro, that's another one, bro. That's a thing that I know in like the radio industry. Oh, a lot of that goes on.
Yeah,
like a lot of what we're
it's not just in music. The radio industry.
We're not talking about radio.
It's radio industry. I mean, it's the film industry, even the Kenyan film industry. It happens. I've heard of that too. So it's just and it's really frustrating.
It is.
Yeah.
And one avenue I saw it come out again was during the week. Femi One was complaining that she was interviewed and like it came out without her consent, and there was an interview circulating where some dude, I don't even know like what his media channel is.
We don't need to speak it.
I don't know anything about him. Yeah. But I saw the video and he asked like a question out of the blue, and I'm just like, how?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too.
And then she said she said, so she tweeted and she said she asked for that footage not to be released, but they released it either way. And that's also like infringing on somebody's like content rights, you know? How do you just like put that out, especially when the artist, the person, the human being has said, yo, I'd kind of like this not to come out. Like, first of all, like, what are we doing here? You know? So, bro, we just need to like...
Shame on bro, too. Shame on you.
For real.
From the information we know, like, what you did was super foul, bro. Like, that's nasty. It's wrong. Especially if you've been asked not to.
And the worst thing is
the good thing to do is like you've been asked not to either sit down and figure out a way that maybe you can keep some of the interview, the part that maybe everyone is okay with. But if you've been told no, like why would you this is a situation where you can be sued.
For views. And yes, he can definitely be sued. But it's views. It's all for, bro.
Clout
let me tell you,
chasing,
people
man.
do the most for clout.
Clout
bro.
is a hell of a drug.
They'll do anything for clout.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a drug. And so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And in general, man, like I feel like we need to be more protective of the women in the country. You know, I feel like what's happening like in our industry it's like a symptom of the general happenings within the country. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you said, it's not just endemic to the music industry. Like it's happening everywhere. And like even with the femicide that's been going on, Sam, do you know I saw a statistic that I couldn't believe when I saw it the first time? Like that stat that says like 97 women died in the past 3 months, and that's been released by the DCI due to femicide is freaking insane. Like, what are we doing as a country if 100 people are dying in 3 months? That's a death rate of more than one person a day for the past 3 months being killed. And it's just kind of like...
It's crazy.
It's scary. You have to consider, man, this person is not just a number. Like, they have family, they have friends, they have people they love. Like, they're a whole human being. Imagine the amount of people that would be devastated if something horrible happened to you, Sam. That grief would be... It's even hard to like conceptualize it. You know, there's so many people who would be affected by that. And it's just like, bro, all these people are just being killed. It's like 100 is a huge number. Imagine 100 people in a room, and all those people have lost their lives due to femicide. It's not right. So I don't know. We just need guys to be... We need to coach our guys a little bit better, or the men in our country, right? And maybe the small way we can contribute is like even in the music industry, because we are also getting up there, like not tutoring, like just bringing up the new generation of like producers and engineers and whatever in spaces where they aren't bound to go down the same route as like the older producers and engineers.
I mean, bottom line, individually, like it always comes down to individual, like value the other person. Value them as a human being. Don't look at another human being as an asset, as something that you could use and benefit from and then just dump. Like that's a human being just like every single one of us are. And I think as men, both in the industry and outside, just like daily life, as men, we're protectors and naturally, right? And we're the ones who are supposed to like be protect. We're supposed to protect. I think that's the right word I'm looking for. Protect the people around us. Protect the women around us. It's really disappointing that the ones who are supposed to be doing the protecting are the ones doing the harming, and it's just kind of it's annoying,
and,
man.
Yo,
I hate
a a few things you can do. I was just reading a post from I think it's Keeping a Girl in School. It's they were talking about the violence on women, and they're saying 5 things that you could do is speak out, using your voice to raise awareness, supporting the various organizations that are, just fighting against the femicide, educating others, teaching young people about healthy relationships and consent. Which we've just talked, bro, we need to teach young producers and stuff coming up. It's not okay to leverage masters and stuff and ask for.
Can you imagine that? Just
sexual favors. It's horrible. Number 4,
headache.
report abuse. Report abuse if you know someone who's experiencing abuse. And number 5, sharing the post to create awareness. So yeah, hopefully if you're listening to this, if you're in the music industry, if it's happening, if it's happened to you or somebody that you know about, yeah, well, yes, if you're a guy producer and you're just working with an artist because you're trying to smash, you should be working with an artist because you think that they are talented. It's not about sexual favors or things like that. You know what I mean? And if you're a woman listening to this and you're in the music industry or anything and things have gone haywire in your career because of things like this, I understand how it could be hard to speak up.
We have to, bro. I know it's difficult, but we have to.
I do hope. Yeah, I do hope you're able to
the reason these things
find that courage to.
Yeah, the reasons this thing keep going on is because they stay in the dark. And so it empowers the perpetrators. Anyway.
Heavy stuff, man, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be fucking talked about.
It does. It does. It would be cool to, just on that note, I think I guess we can move on. It would be cool to bring in some of the older Kenyan female artists. To just talk about, to just genuinely talk about their experiences in the industry. I think it will help a lot of the younger female artists that we have
in the industry,
that we have today. And now I'm talking specifically on this issue because we could do that for across the board for everything, but then specifically on this issue, I think they have endured,
the music industry,
gone through a lot, and I think the younger artists could learn that. So that's an idea. And if there are any older OG female, can you call female artists OGs? If there are any older OG,
what? Yeah, what type of
no,
person
I don't know.
is that?
I've just never associated an older female artist with the OG. I feel like we should have a more flowery term for them. But yeah, there's still OGs. Yeah, for sure, the OGs. If there are any female female artists who have dealt with that and figured out, navigated through that really well or badly, but have a story to tell and could probably talk to some of the younger artists. We're really big on mentorship and communicating a better way just off experience to the younger artists. So it's also the responsibility of those who've gone through it to also pass on the knowledge they've gotten. Of course, this is a sensitive issue, so we can't really it can't make it a one-on-one thing.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Y'all need to act right. Everyone needs to act right. Everyone needs to act right. On that note, speaking of act right, doing the AFAM. Speaking of act right, new music.
I'm so sorry. There was no correlation. That was horrible.
Speaking of, okay,
come on.
Okay, all right, that was horrible. Can we just get to new music, man?
Yes.
You go.
Anyway, yeah, let's get into new music. I guess I could start, or do you feel strongly about this?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay. Cheru released Apartment 14, which was teased actually in our previous episode. Mrumbi, who manages her, was mentioning that this was coming out. It's a collaborative project with Shalom, who I suppose produces all her stuff. So that came out. It was a really nice listen. I feel like the whole project flowed into itself. It actually felt like one long song that was sectioned into different songs. So that's how I received it. Really like the artwork as well. So shout out to Cheru. Dinah Chords and Wadaglis released Every Girl. I was watching the video. Bro, Dinah Chords is sounding so good in this sound, man. Like, I think she's found her niche now. So I'm really, really happy for Dinah Chords. So I can't wait to see. She needs to put together a project that sounds like this. Let's see. I also listened to FOMO by African Vic. That was a good listen. Society Pressure by Willie Paul and Scam Cardinali was also a good listen. To Whom It May Concern, Trio Mio, Scam Cardinali and King Fizzle. King Fizzle has been putting in some work. King Fizzle is really, really building his name as a producer out here. So I see you putting in the work. So shout out to King Fizzle. What else did I listen to? Tushike County by Sean MMG. That was a nice listen as well. This didn't really come out last week. It came out the week before, but Ran Scooby released the song Denda. Also has a video that's out. I think the other thing I listened to that I really liked before I let you go was Ochikore by Ochiko and Fancy Fingers. I know Sam likes to say, Afam doesn't like listening to this music.
Why?
But sometimes I dabble. Okay,
you avoid,
guys,
I dabble. You avoid Afropop like it's a plague.
It's not that I avoid it. It's just
it's like it.
I don't. Let's not create this narrative.
Melts your skin off. It's not creating a narrative.
What?
Afam. It's not creating a narrative. The narrative has already been created. We're living the narrative.
Am I creating a narrative about you creating a narrative?
Look what you're doing. It's a counter creative narrative is what you're doing.
This is narrativeception. Yeah. Oh my God, the mind games are horrible. But I genuinely did like that song by Ochiko and Fancy Fingers. What were you listening to?
Yeah. Let's go. Well, I'll first bring up Naiboy. Naiboy has been MIA for a long time. And he recently came back into the country. He was at Kolo's listening party, which I was at also. So he's back in Esther and he dropped a song. He dropped what do they call this? Like, is it called a maxi single? He dropped a song, and there's an acoustic version, there's an acoustic instrumental, and then the a cappella. So yeah, he's back. I'm looking to hear what he has in store. Let's go with a couple of projects, actually. I would highlight Back to Basics. I like discovering new artists. So Muringi is an artist I just discovered. She dropped a project called Back to Basics. It's 10 songs on there. It was interesting, very interesting. I've never listened to her, so that was cool. I liked a couple of songs. I like the song with Wanjine. I like the song. It's called, I'm not going to butcher the name, but it's number 5 on the project. And then we have Mwamboko with Mwalimu Warux. And also the song with Ochiko. That was pretty cool. I haven't finished the project, so I'm going to get back to that. Who else? I feel like there's one that I am missing. Shad Mziki. Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. Shad Mziki released Sherehe Ya December, a project. It was interesting. I have listened to it once time through, maybe 1.5 times through. And it had its strong moments. It has, there are also moments that I think could be, songs that I think could be better. The album art for me was kind of, I don't know, but that's just my review. I liked Wajue Niwewe by him and Costa Ojwang. Really enjoyed that. The production on that was pretty cool too. I think that's Wodomol, if I'm not wrong. What else did I like? I did like, is it Rahisi? And maybe Body Else. I need to go back. Oh no, and then I what's the joint? What's the joint? Truth or Dare. I love the production on that. So I think that was also Wodomolo, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong on that. But then the production was pretty cool on that. So it's a cool album. If you're into Shad Mziki, listen to it. I like his voice. I think as he progresses that he'll be able to do something great. He could become a staple. So yeah, and then the last
the song I listened to on the sorry, go ahead.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was going to move on to something else, but go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the song I liked from that project was the one with Brandy Maina.
Yeah.
Which you've just mentioned, Truth or Dare. I really like the instrumental. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then I want to highlight the remix EP, the remixes rather, by The Archer and Lisa Odor-Noah. Dropped a two-pack, a really nice two-pack of remixes to her original song, The Archer, which was released sometime earlier this year. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Pablo Caballos remix. That was really cool. Actually, I enjoyed both of them. But yeah, that's that, man. And a bunch more stuff came out. But
that's that. But yo, Sam, there was one song that just stood out. Bro, you know when you just how do I even put this? Sometimes you just be seeing things and then something just has like a spotlight on it. You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, that's the one. That's the one. And for me, bro, there was one song that stood out this week. And that was Sema by DJ Mura, Zaituni Wambui. And I believe it's pronounced Chevrolet. I think it's supposed to be a play on like the Chevrolet. Anyway, I listened to that and I was like, yup. Like, she never disappoints. Zaituni Wambui never disappoints. And yes, Sam put me on to Zaituni Wambui a few months ago now. Was it even this? It was even last year. Anyway, but no, actually, I knew that. I'm rambling. I knew of Zaituni Wambui, but I hadn't listened to a lot of her music before Tamu. And Tamu was phenomenal. Sam put me onto that specific song. But here she is again with Sema. And I was just so blown away by just how good she sounds, man. And it's funny. She says she's not from Coast, but her vocals just give such a Coast vibe. She's so good at that shit. Like, I don't even know how she does it, but she did it again. And Sam, I would like to play Sema for the end of the podcast, if you would allow me. So here is Sema by DJ Mura, Zaituni Wambui, and Chevrolet.
All the signs, but truly you're not mine. I can't figure you out, taking me round and round. One day we're flying, next thing we're crashing, head down with no alert. I
That was Sema by DJ Mura, Zaituni, Wambui, and Sjef Rolet. Bro, DJ Mura's production as well, man. Have to give that a shout out, man. So shout out to DJ Mura, and as always, again, shout out to Zaituni, Wambui, and Sjef Rolet. Sam, another episode down the can. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay, I guess.
Okay, Sam is feeling okay.
What do you want from me?
Which is great. Nothing more than that. Actually, you feeling okay is great. Guys, I want to leave you guys, as always, with the 3 C's. If you're new here, if this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, I like to end the podcast with the 3 C's. And what are those, you may ask? Well, C, number 1, is confidence. I need you to be confident in your art. I know a lot of the people who listen to this podcast are in the music industry or might be interested in getting into the music industry or any creative industry. Be confident in your art, because if you're not confident about it, who will be? Number 2, be consistent. You always have to be consistent. If you're working on music, try and work on it on a consistent basis. As a producer, I like to at least try and make at least a beat a day, right? There were times in the past I used to be like, no, you have to make 5 beats a day. But like nowadays, I'm just like, if I can just make 1 beat a day, like I'm doing well. So always be consistent. Also with how you release music or how you release your content, make sure you're doing it at a consistent basis. And lastly, craft. Always work on your craft. Always aim to improve. Strive to improve. Watch tutorials. Watch other artists creating, learn from what they're doing. There's always something to learn. And also, don't only rely on your field to learn things. So you could also try and watch how, or like sometimes I'll be watching TikToks about like how writers approach like writing and see how that applies to like making music. Sometimes you can get like some really interesting parallels, like having a strong introduction, a strong hook in the intro, and thinking about, how can I, when I'm structuring my music, how can I make the first few seconds the most interesting few seconds? So there's just things like that where you can learn like and kind of, improve.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's all for me, Sam.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess before we end, I don't sound preachy, but just a reminder to everyone, I guess, who is in the industry, that you have a role to play and you have a little piece of the analogy I usually use is everyone has like a little piece of the industry in their hands. The journalists have it, the producers, the artists, the promoters, the marketers, the managers. We all have like a little piece of the industry in our hands, and what you do with it contributes to the whole picture that we're trying to paint of the Kenyan music industry.
Yeah.
And so, just do with that what you will, Wow. I do hope that we are all responsible with our art, responsible with the different roles and jobs and talents that we have. And we use it to further the industry rather than stifle it and tear it down. But yeah, go out there and be decent.
Okay, with that, bro. We will see you guys on episode 106.